All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That is all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely Sabbath day in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a wonderful message regarding the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah needs to be schooled and judged. I'm going to tell you the truth. They are being judged big time by Yahuwah. Big time. And he ain't letting up. So I'm going to school you all on what you do not know, what you think you know, but you do not know. You're about to be schooled today on this Sabbath, and I'm going to give you what the Father has given me. And I hope that it open your eyes to see that you've been deceived by your own nation. Those who have said, I want to be a king, a leader, a ruler. Many are running their mouths with all kind of darkness spilling out of their mouths. No light, none whatsoever. No spirit and truth even to be found. So I, Sister Deborah, the prophetess in the wilderness of the Most High Yah, coming to bring you a message today. And I'm going to jump right on in to school the whole tribe of Judah. Another thing that bothers me, and it bothers me a great deal, but that's okay. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to stay in my lane. But let me tell you, the lane that I'm talking about, I'm staying in, it is loaded with spirit and truth. Okay? So let me tell you, that lane that I'm in, it's not a lane that you can just think you can come in and go out and get in or go out or get your lane. Let me tell you, this lane was prepared for his servant before the foundation of the world. And I thank him through the steps that he had ordered in my life. Always gave me the ability to move up in him and not backwards. My whole life as at the age of 4 was moving upwards, not falling down the steps and ended up on ground level, not coming down due to alcohol, drugs, and lust and adultery and abomination. I kept moving. I might have had to step on one step and remain there, but let me tell you this. I didn't remain on that one step alone. Y'all didn't leave my presence until he prepared me how to remain on that one step so he can move me to the next level. I know many has deceived you all that a woman can tell you nothing. But let me tell you, these words ain't coming from a woman. These words are coming from the Ruach HaKodesh unto a tribe of people that are lost without a cause and need to be schooled. And they need to understand that the judgment and the fire of fierce of my Father is upon them. Do they care? No. But it ain't going to stop me from speaking while I'm in the lane in which he prepared for me. There are many people speaking and should not be speaking. There are many people hearing these people and should not. And I'm telling you, it's vain and it's vast to even hear them. Because when the prophetess come on the scene and have to hear what someone says, oh, check this here video out. Check this person out saying this. Check this person out. And if I have to step in that realm, I see not what the individual wanted me to see. Because the gift that has been given to me is to see behind seeing While you all looking in before you, I'm so busy seeing behind seeing with the spirit of discerning. These gifts are not gifts that flesh and blood can give you. These gifts are not inherited by the flesh of man or woman, your mother and your father, or these gifts are not given to us in spirit and truth from the flesh of a man and the flesh of a woman. These gifts are given to us before the foundation of the world. Let's dive in to the lesson. And the lesson surrounds Judah, the tribe of Judah. You're about to be schooled. And not only are you going to be schooled, you're going to recognize the judgment that is on you. I know a lot of people say, well, that's them and that's not me. Let it go on them and ain't them. But let me tell you, he said, you are your father's children. So if he said you are your father's children, and because the sin of your father, you are where you at, when tell me how you got out of it. If you cannot understand that, that shows you are not on solid, you're not on solid level, period. You're not even on the first step. You're still on ground level. And it's not even solid. It's rocky. Let me say that again. There are many out there will say, oh, well, no, not me. That's them out there. Let them do it. That's me. I'm this, I'm that, I'm it. I got it. I'm saved. I'm sanctified. I'm full of the Holy Spirit. I'm this and I'm that. Let me tell you something. Back it up and back it down. Because you are not who you think you are. And I'm about to school you in that. Because if you're separate from what I'm talking about, guess what? Then how did you get to where you at? If it wasn't the sin, the wicked, the abomination of your forefathers that got you where you at today. So how did you get added in? How is it you in your land of your captivity? How is it that you have an oppressors ruling over you if you're not in it? So I'm speaking to you to be so you can be schooled. And every man out there, let me tell you, in the tribe of Judah, you know what? I need to stop trying to put people in a category of a tribe. Because really, a lot of that is vain and vexed. It's worthless. Because in Yah, he's looking at something in the inner man. Let's set an example. When David saw another man's wife, David really actually had her husband murdered, lust at his wife, and took his wife, laid with her while she was still married. But when Yah sent the prophet, David's prophet, to him, he told him it's all right. There's something about David, Abraham, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's something about those that are appointed and anointed before the foundation of the world to be the seed that walk this thing on down for Yah. Because in spite of what David did, he was the seed that came down here to represent the Father. It didn't make no difference if he was younger than his siblings. It didn't make no difference that he didn't fight in the service or the military. It didn't make any difference. He was the seed of the Father that was placed in the soil to bring forth the will of the Father. So I want to tell you all, what you see today, you are bringing forth only what the forefathers has already brought forth. Rebellion, stiff-necked, disobedient, whoremongers, lust, a lot of abomination. Coming from, I'm going to say it like it is, the tribe of Judah. And all you see now is a product of what Yah said in Ezekiel 36. These people were like this in their land, floating. with milk and honey. They had everything. But the way they are today, it is not hidden. But what hid it? What kept them from knowing who they are? Really, themselves. But guess what happened? They was going to show up eventually. Why? Because that's who they are. So let's go there. And I'm going to take you all the way back. I'm going to take you all the way back. And you men out there, you are lost without a cause. You are mentally 100% gone. You can't even be schooled. You can't even receive the Ruach HaKodesh. I know you say, well, what? That woman speaking and she can't speak. Shut your ugly mouth. That's the flesh of a man speaking that nonsense. You don't even know the power of the Father's right hand and his stretched out arm. Who's to tell the Creator well, what is his and what he can put forth and what he cannot? Stand down, clowns, because that's what you are. And not only a clown, you're a clown that's mentally destroyed. So even me schooling you is not going to even help you. I'm in my lane. And my lane says, speak that word. Okay. We're going to start with, and we're going to go all the way back. A lot of people mumble jumble their ugly mouths and want to tell people about Torah and about what it was in the ancient days. Shut your mouth. This thing didn't start today. This is a product of yesterday that was hidden. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. So let's go to Exodus chapter 20. We're going to start with verse 5. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. Now we're going all up in Torah. And I want to show you why throughout times I was telling you all, don't let nobody wrap Torah around your neck. Let them stay their tail under Torah. Okay? And play that Torah game. Okay? Genesis chapter 20. Not Genesis, Exodus chapter 20. I'm looking at Genesis. Exodus chapter 20, verse 5 and 6. Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah, thy God, am a jealous Yah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers. Fathers. Do fathers represent males? Do fathers represent men? What are you talking about, Yah? What are you saying, Father Yah? Let's go there again. Exodus chapter 20, verse 5 and 6. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Ahia, am a jealous Yah, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children until the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me. That hate me. Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, which is gave themselves to me. Okay? And keep my commandments. And keep my commandments. Here is telling you, Yah is dealing with the sin and the wickedness of those fathers, children. And what? 3 to 4 generations that hate me. What is that all about? Do you all think that that same song in Exodus 20, verse 5 and 6 is still playing out today? It was found in what a lot of people call the New Testament, but in Yah, there's no new and no old. Okay. But here it's speaking on the iniquity of the fathers upon their children, 3 generations. I believe our women that are speaking need to shut up. I don't think they should ever go into this area if they do not have spirit and truth. Spirit and truth of the matter is when the Ruach come to you in a quiet place in which he come unto you. And he sit down and he gives you the truth of the matter of what has been said and what is as he speak unto you. It's no need in using, because you've been on this devil platform for years. It's no need in stepping in a realm that you know not of. I see women hooping and hollering about what's going on with the tribe of Judah and have a man in their bed, a husband, a man that they bear children with, a household where a man is at. It's not saying nothing about men, but you hooping and hollering across the world about what the tribe of Judah or men are doing. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because your greatest issue is he that's laying in the bed with you. He that you have birthed all his children. See, one thing the women don't understand. That man got to feel you. It's like we've been together for so long, you don't even have to shed a tear. You don't have to say a word. I feel you. That's when you know something is not equally in unity, in the walk of Yah. When a wife can get up on this devil platform and spill her heart to the world about what a tribe is doing, but the husband is sitting on the sideline. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. It's in the bloodline of the men. See, you running around here talking about things that is vain and vast. And he that sleeps with you, wake up with you, then brought forth and dropped seeds in you. You done bear his children. You done took her as how he's with you 24/24. But he can't feel you. See, a real man, when he feel his wife, he feel what she is going through. He feel that thing. Don't let him be really spiritual, because if he really spiritual, oh no, he gonna do more than just feel that thing. When you unequally yoke, it's when one portraying to be something and the other one says they are something, you unequally, because you ain't on one accord. That also is connected where he said a man is to leave his mother and he is to connect, cleave to that woman. And once he cleaved to that woman, like y'all created a man to cleave to, where they are together as one in y'all, then that man feel that woman. And guess what? That woman feels that man. And if that woman feels that man having really sincere issues and wanting to cover issues with women, woman, get up there and jump on that bandwagon. Tell these women. Because now he's hurting regarding issues of women. And if he's hurting, you should feel that thing. And you are a woman. Now you are the one to speak on it. Likewise, if a woman is in a house and she is emotional or even can feel that thing. See, when y'all said a man leave a woman and cleave, it's because once he cleave to her, guess what? He feel that woman. A lot of women don't even know that. They got men sleeping with them for years, and that man can't even feel them. What do you mean? He can't tell you what you like. He can't tell you what you don't like. He can't even tell you how you want to feel. He can't even tell you your favorite drink or your soda or drink. He can't even tell you your favorite candy bar. He can't even tell you your favorite dish, your favorite color. He can't even tell you the day your cycle started. That's a man that's equally yoked to a woman. I told you all when I was married, it wasn't a such thing as when I see that my husband is having problems seeing, and he looked like he's, wait a minute, hold up. What's wrong with you? Wait a minute, what's wrong with you? You need some glasses? Okay, we need some glasses. It wasn't that he needed some glasses. Oh, you look like you have hard to see. Oh, I can't barely see. Oh, we need some glasses. We need some glasses. Oh, I see you stayed in the bed longer. What's wrong? He said, oh, I got a bad toothache. Oh, no. We got a toothache. You ain't got no toothache. We got a toothache. I made that thing me. I brought that thing to me. Whatever went down with him, it was me. You know what? Let me tell y'all something that you don't know. That man can come back and tell you how many jobs that I went to. Oh, you did this to him? Oh, when you said this to him, you did? Oh, okay, tell you what. We finna go to the chain of command. Do y'all know how? You don't know. Because when you did it to him, you better watch out. You done it to me. That's a marriage that's equally yoked. He trusts the gift that y'all birthed in me. And I just trust the man that he was. Did our gifts or our ability was equal? No. But because who I was in y'all, when it came down to him, you messed with him, you messed with me. I think it's been 12 times I done went on his workplace. Wait a minute. What's the problem? I like to talk to the CEO. No. Hey, is the director here? Okay. When this is the chain, where is the list where I can start the chain of command? The last time he came in on a job, he had been there 27 years. And I had been through the chain of command twice to get his job back. That third time, 5 a.m. in the morning, he pulls up, come in the house. They fired me again. And this was like years later. I said, I tell you what. I'm not fighting that one no more. No more. You see? I know how to pull in and I know how to pull out. And if any woman on this devil platform hooping and hollering about what the tribe of Judah is doing, and you got a man sitting in your house and he ain't speaking on behalf, he don't see what you see then. He don't feel what you feel. You need to stand down. If a man is in the same house with you, sleep with you, eat with you, you provide for him and he provide for you, you got children in that house, anytime you feel big, he's the one that'll straighten you out. Why? Because he's going to make you feel like I'm on your side with you in this. But see, people pretend to have the perfect marriage. But somebody like Sister Deborah, who walks in spirit and truth, I can see it a mile away. It ain't as pretty as they try to let the world see. Let's get to the topic. Now, in Exodus chapter 20, verse 5, Exodus chapter 20, verse 5 and 6. I'm going to pull up in it again. It says, thou shalt not bow down thyself before them, nor serve them. For I, Ahijah, am a jealous Yah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto 3 and 4 generation of them that hate me. Now I want y'all to understand this, but let me finish this. Verse 6. Showing mercy unto thousands and them that give and gave me and keep my commandments. Now this is what he said. He bagged that thing up. That sin is visit by Yah. Why? By what? How? What do he mean visit? He judged that thing. He judged that mess. He judged that mess. What are you saying, Deborah? He come up on the children with it. Father, you did it. but I'm going to back it up on your children. 3, 4 generations. What do you mean? If it's not broken throughout those 3 and 4, it go another 3 and 4 to where you see yourself at now. So a lot of women, they are so lost without a cause, even though they think they got it nailed. No, you don't, baby. No, you don't. This thing is spirit and it is truth of the whole matter. I don't care what nobody else is saying, because a lot of people want to take you out of the spirit realm so they can take you into the stupidity realm of their flesh. But see, you got to stay in the spirit and truth realm, because that's the whole matter. When it all said and done, that's it. Okay, watch this. This is in Exodus. He's speaking like this. And what got me is he's speaking like this all the way up in Luke and John. Something wrong with that picture, y'all. Something wrong with that picture. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father. Y'all. You speaking all this same stuff all the way up in Luke and John. So do you out there think that he's not talking about us today? Yes, he is. That's why you where you at. Because you haven't owned up to the sins of your forefathers. You haven't owned up to it. And you're not going to. It's not in you to. You love the chastising. You love the wrath of Yah. You love the anger of Yah. That's why y'all keep pulling up in his face with all this nonsense, knowing who he is. And because of who he is, you are not doing it against your flesh and Satan. You're working with Satan to go up against Yahuwah. And at the same time, in you and out of your ugly mouth, it's claiming to know his name. It's claiming to know how to hold up and down Torah. It's claiming to know Hebrew and Greek. It's claiming to know everything and know all the other books, and you don't know nothing. Because there's no spirit and truth of the matter resting therein. You can't even see yourself running, chasing your tail in darkness, and ain't doing nothing but going in circles in pitch darkness. Let's go. We're going to go into Exodus 18. Exodus 18 and verse 19. 18 and verse 19 and 20. Exodus 18, chapter 18, verse 19 and 20. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and Yah shall be with thee. For the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto Yah. Verse 20. And thou shalt teach them ordinance and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. You hear that? Go back to verse 20. We're going into Exodus chapter 18. Let's hit verse 20. And thou shalt teach them the ordinances and the laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work they must do. Now listen to this. This is the same thing that can be found in the word regarding train up a child in the what? The way what? They should go. Train up a child in the way they should go. Now let's go back to 20 again. And thou shalt teach them the ordinance of the law, and shall show them the way in which they must walk. See, this is what I was telling you a while back, which is a couple of videos back. There was always Yah's will desiring the men to train up the children in the way that leads to him. See, training up a child in the way of the world, that's not what he's talking about, child. He said, train them up in the way they should go. And what way that they should go will be the righteous way, is the way of Yah. So he's telling the what? So-called wannabe, I'm the king, leader, ruler of my house. Train these children up in the way they should go. And which way is that, Father? Which way? I can't find it. Which way is that? You're supposed to be the leader of your household. You're supposed to be the ruler. You're supposed to be the king. You're supposed to be the head. Train them darn kids up. So what you see in the world today, and what you saw yesterday, and what you see the day before, is why men of the tribe of Judah has not trained their children, their sons, and their daughters in the way of Yah. And this is what you see. And you see in this verse, it says in verse 20, and thou shalt teach them the ordinance of the laws, and thou shalt show them the way wherein they must walk. Watch this here. And the work that they must do. It's still talking about men. You see, they have escaped since Exodus, since Genesis. Sister Deborah told y'all, these men been escaping what's righteous all these years. And still today, we're looking at the heathens and Gentiles. We're looking at the women. We're looking at everybody bothering our men outside of them, not showing each other the way to Yah. But they want to show you that they want to be kings. They want to be rulers. They want to be leaders. And we want to be heads. See, they can't even be the head of just basic common knowledge of themselves. How can you head anybody? How can you lead? How can you be a king or a leader in anything when you can't even lead your stupid tails into anything that is righteous? These children are what you see in the world, all this chaos amongst the tribe of Judah, is because of the forefathers. And that's what we just read in Exodus 20, chapter 20, verse 5 and 6. The sins of the father is going down the bloodline. So women really believe that it's all about, this is my baby, this is my child. Y'all ain't told you nothing like that. That's you not staying in the lane in which he created you as a wife, as a woman. And it's not a place of stupidity. It's not a place of ignorance. It is a place of the light to still yet be shining. A voice that serves in your household. So therefore, all this crap that you seeing in the world, this killing and this chaotic, is Yah's judgment toward these men who have escaped it since Genesis. And here we're speaking of Exodus chapter 20. Already telling you, Deborah, tell them, it's the fathers. Even when I say train up the children, how is the fathers going to train up the children if they're not in the house? And Yah is not saying, let me show you an example. When Yah created Adam, he could have created Eve at the same time. But Yah sent a statement to the whole world. The first thing I created in human was a man. And I gave him headship by just creating him first. And the first thing I gave him, not only that, I gave him the first commandment and the first law, which is instructions and directions. And guess what? The first creation of a man was a crown. He took his crown and laid it on the ground. He didn't want the position of being the first one created. which would be the first leader, the first head. See, he thinking he the first head because, oh, Yah is a male and Yah, Yeshua is a male. And no. That's not what it is. But that's the weakness of their stupidity. Adam took his crown off his head the moment he walked up on the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He set his crown down. And that gave leeway for the conversation of one that took on a conversation. But it didn't stop Adam from standing right there at the tree of knowledge and good and evil, hearing everything Satan was entertaining the both. So his position started in Genesis. Because if y'all really want y'all, I'm going to tell y'all the truth of the whole matter is this. Yah knows all things. He knew that he created this head. That's why he created him first and did not create her. Because if he created both of them, then both of them is equally the first and the head. So he created him. But when he put him in the garden and told him, gave him instructions and direction, that was telling you that's the crown. I gave you instruction, direction. I gave you commandment and law. One, and you couldn't even keep it. You looked over to the one I didn't give it to. That's when the crown was taken off, y'all. That's when the disobedient was. Because listen to this. Later on down the line, before he made this statement, he said this statement after. Now, before, he said, it is not good that man shall be alone. When you the one created him alone, what's the deal? Come on now, y'all. Because y'all knew that man gave up his crown and was going to give it up when he stood at the tree of knowledge of good and evil before woman was even created. And this is what prompted him to say, it is not good that man be alone. I'm going to make him a helpmeet. Then he what? Went and created all the animals and brought them to Adam. So he what? Giving him that crown. The first commandment in law. Giving him that crown. He gave him the first beast and animals to give him what? That crown. What do you mean, Deborah? Wait a minute. The helpmeet wasn't there with him when he had to name all these things. The helpmeet wasn't with him when y'all put him in the garden to dress it. Because Yah knew all the time before he even made woman, man had already taken off his crown. So when you see these men trying to get back to Adam, they don't understand, baby, you took your crown off, your children, your father, your forefather, your forefathers, they've been took their crown out long time ago in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. So here we are today. He's telling these men, train up a child in the way they should go. What way is that, Father? Yah, the way that leads to me, Deborah. I gave that charge to men, and they still did exactly the same thing. Not that I did not know. I knew it. I knew it. And they want to make the earth and the heavens about them. It's about them taking their crown off and not being in the position in which I called them in the beginning. Okay. Now let's go to what do we land in 18 and verse 19. Exodus 18 and verse 19 and 20. We covered that, didn't we? And it says in verse 18, chapter 18 of Exodus. Exodus chapter 18, verse 20. Thou shalt teach them ordinance and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must. This is the power of Yah speaking. Must. This is the power of Yah speaking. Walk. And the work that they must do. Those are charges from the Most High Yah. Telling it unto who? The fathers. So when you see and you read, shut your ugly mouth if you don't really understand when he say, learn to question and ask, what does this mean? Give me some understanding of this. Train up your children in the way that they should go. He's telling the men. Train them up. And don't you think he know? That's why they the way they are today. That's why you see what's going on in the world today. We see it in who we hooping and hollering as real women and real mothers. We the one hooping holler. We the one cry and moan. We the real women of the Most High Yah. Women that ain't of the Most High Yah, guess what? They don't shed a tear. They don't moan. Laminate. They don't cry. They don't do anything, stand back and be stupid and say, no, that's them. That ain't me. It's happening to them. Oh, no, baby. How you get in captivity then if it was your forefathers that did wrong? How did you end up in it? You see the stupidity? Okay, now let's go to Exodus 34. I think I got one in Exodus 34. Exodus 34. In Exodus 34, let me see if this is the right one. Exodus 34 and verse 7. Now I'm still in Torah. Exodus 34 and 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin. And that will by no means clear the guilty. Just because he having mercy on iniquity and transgression does not clear the guilt. I love that, Father. Y'all, thank you. And not only that, I like how he slanted guilty. He wanted to send a message to Deborah. They ain't getting away with nothing, baby. They ain't getting away with nothing. Now listen to what he said. Verse 7, keeping mercy for thousands of years. That's Yah. Forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin. And that will no means clear. Do y'all see the word clear? Clear means you're going to meet your match come judgment before the throne of Yeshua and the Most High God. Is where it's going to be charged on you or to you. Listen to what he's saying. Oh yeah, you got mercy and grace. Don't think I don't see your murdering, your killing, your whoremongering, your abomination, your stealing from people. You think I don't see all of this? Let's take, what did he say? Verse 7. Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands of years. Even the heathens. They think they get away with it? Watch this here. For thousands of years, forgiving iniquity. Y'all better hear that, Judah. You better hear that. Forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. Forgiving it. Watch this here. And that will by no means clear the guilty. Where are you going to be held guilty? Come judgment. The seat of judgment. Whether hell, lake of fire, or eternal kingdom of heaven. That's when who you are. That's when it's going to show up. Oh yeah, you might think you didn't had a foot up in the Father's butt. Oh yeah, you think that. That's what the tribe of Judah is. They think they done something. Just like what Judah did as to his brother. They really think they can just go around here and do stuff and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But y'all letting you know, watch this here. Verse 7, Exodus 34 and verse 7, it says, and that will by no means clear the guilty. When I hear that word right there, clear the guilty, by no means, that let me know, Deborah, I'll see him at the throne. Oh, praise somebody, yeah. And that is what food is for my spirit, is to let me know, okay, it's okay, I got this. No, I got this. And when he slammed that guilty, I was like, there it is. Heaven's gonna judge him then. Now watch this. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children until the third and fourth generation. He done came your way already. He done already, your kids that you got, there they go. There they go. Already, they already locked up in the sins of their fathers. A lot of people think they're escaping that. A man can do whatever he does in his life. Before you do these things and you do wicked and evil, it first has to be branded in your mind, okay? And in your fleshly way of doing things. You have to let it wrap up in your feelings and your emotions, murdering and killing and stealing and abomination and lusting and all this old mess. Okay? You've been in entertaining, then you've been in dropped a seed or two into women. One here, one there. And dropping these seeds, you're dropping monsters. And these ignorant women don't know a darn thing about what's going on, because they don't know spirit and truth. They can't even see what's going on. They can't even feel what's going on. Then one day their kids wake up and they 13 and 14. He cursing you and setting the house on fire and stealing money out of your wallet. School can't handle them, baby, because the seed of the father come after the children. 3 to 4 generation. Y'all want me to show you how deep that 3 and 4 goes, even past us. How do you say that there? The generations is when you don't recognize what Sister Deborah is saying and you don't break that curse in your generation. Guess what? It goes to the next one. And then the next one. It never ceases. It never ceases. Let's read it again. Keeping mercy for thousands. I like that. Forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. When I read that, I said, look here, Father. You know, I came to your door too many times. You know, I came to your altar, dragging your robe off of you, saying, well, do you see this, Father? They doing this, they doing it. And you had to tell me, hold up. Do you think these eyes that I have cannot see what I have suffered to be created and to be put forth? I see it all. But furthermore, I saw it in the heavens before you going through it on the earth. So stand down. Stand down. I know that. So what I'm saying when I see in verse 7, keeping mercy for thousands of years, that's him. That's him. Forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin. Why do you think the tribe of Judah is cutting up from the floor right now? Because Yah has moved his right hand from away from him and let Satan have his way. That's a part of Yah's judgment. See, even though he still yet have what? Mercy on them. See, mercy is on the heathens and the Gentiles, the murderers, the rapers, or mercy. And see how we do him? He's come around here spraying all that mercy over everybody, and we running around here having the nerve to try to put our feet in him, up in him, like he don't even exist. He ain't nobody. And all that mercy and grace. And I like that. So when I see verse 7, Exodus 34 and verse 7, I see that mercy in spirit and truth. I see that mercy covering up all the sin and forgiving and iniquity and transgression and the sin. But then I see, and that will be no means clear the guilty. You can be held guilty come the time you step before that throne. So a lot of men really think, oh, I left that woman that she wasn't this and she wasn't that, and let her take care of the kids. I left, but they're gonna pull up to the altar, stand there. Y'all said he ain't even give him time to act. Matter of fact, he ain't even let me talk. Get out of here. Get out of here. You know already where you head. One gonna come up there like I did. Wait a minute. What you do with the tokens I gave you? What tokens? I gave you millions in your womb. What did you do with them? Did you feed them? Did you feed them? The righteous feeds their children. The righteous put a roof over their children. The righteous train them up in the way of Yahuwah. See? You see what I'm saying? You see how people have escaped all wrongdoing and think they're going to just pull up come judgment and I cross that bridge when I get to it. But they don't even understand. Baby, you ain't going to have no bridge to cross because you're going down. Maybe you try to cross that bridge when that lake of fire hit your tail. Okay? Now, I like this. He said, and visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children until the third generation and fourth generation. What is it these men don't get? They don't see these monsters that's out here. These men and these women too. These daughters and these sons are monsters that they created. And they think they're getting away with it. Out in the woods trying to get a congregation, calling yourself a pastor, leader, a Maureen, a seer, a watchman, a priest, a teacher, a minister, a bishop. Sit y'all tails, y'all dried up, no good tails, down. You need to be schooled about the judgment of Yah that's on you. Okay, so let's go to Numbers. We're going to step into Numbers. We still up in Torah. Or is we in Torah? We still, yeah, we still in Torah. You want to tell me some bull crap about Torah, trying to bring Torah up on people today. Stop lying. You didn't tell the truth then. You ain't going to tell the truth now. You wasn't righteous then and you ain't going to be righteous now. Today is a product of yesterday. What do you mean, Deborah? Wasn't the first sin against the Most High Yah brought into the beginning? So what makes you think this day and time is peachy king or all good and all that? When sin started in Torah, somewhere in that, bring them people to a fullness of life. Let's go to Numbers chapter 14 and verse 18. In Numbers chapter 14 and verse 18, and it reads, Numbers chapter 14 and verse 18. And it reads, Yahuwah is long suffering and of great mercy. That was what was, we just read that in Exodus 18 and verse 20. We just read that. No, we read that in, was it Exodus 18 and verse 20, or was it Exodus 34 and verse 7? We just read about how his forgiveness, his mercy, forgive their iniquity, their transgression, and their sin. Now here we are in Numbers chapter 14 and verse 18. And Yah is long suffering and great mercy, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty. I love that. I love that. I love that. That matches it, doesn't it? To the T. And then he said, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and the fourth generation. Do you think that the generation end today? That's why your butt's still in captivity. You're suffering the sins of your forefathers. And let me tell you something. We can stop saying our forefathers. We're over here because of our forefathers. No, you over here now because of you. You done paid the 400 years for the forefathers' sin. Now you over here because of your sin. You never canceled out the curse by being obedient toward the Most High Yah. And it's still going on down the bloodline of the fathers. That's how it's coming down, y'all. That's why he said this world is worse than the time of the forefathers. And it is. Because now we not only have the days of Lot in the midst of us, we have the days of Noah in the midst of us. All this, the time period when he had to say, look at the earth and said, y'all, I'm going to kill all of y'all. and the time period when he saw men or messing with men. Oh, I'm going to take all this Solomon, Gomorrah, and all the surrounding cities. What was you seeing, Deborah? Every sin of the men that caused the father to come up off his throne. To come up off his throne. See, nobody, no, they don't get that. They don't get that. It's you, bro. And running around talking about you want to be a king, leader, and ruler. And head over something. Be head over your sick mind. First and foremost. Okay. Now, he said here in verse 18, Numbers chapter 14 and verse 18. Ahiah is long-suffering and great mercy. Yes, he is. He's forgiven iniquity, transgressions, and no means clearing the guilt. No, he got you at the throne now, y'all. Do what you're going to do. He'll forgive you that grace and that mercy, letting you continue doing what you're doing. See, a lot of people, the tribe of Judah, don't understand. You in the land of your captivity. You in prison and still haven't woke up from stupid to anything, spirit and truth. And you saying you a king in the land of your captivity. You saying you a leader in the land of your captivity. You want somebody to submit to you in prison. You only where you think you are and not where you really are. Because right now, you in the full judgment of the Most High Yah on the earth. That's what he's doing. So he said, but I will visit the iniquity of the father upon the children until the third and fourth generation. He letting you know your wickedness is spilling right over to the children. So this is what you see. When we are hooping and hollering about all the crime our men out here doing, this is what happens. The men would never, and we talking about in Torah, and he's doing Negroes. I don't even know if they Negroes or not. These doing people running around here on this devil platform trying to teach this book. And they ain't have no spirit and truth to back it up, nor to back it down. But they want to get up here and try to teach it. You need to sit your tails down and stop clowning. No, you can't stop clowning because you are a clown. Okay. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 5. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 9. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 9. When I ride up on Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9. I ride up on Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself. No, thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, Ahiah thy Yah, am a jealous Yah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Now listen to this. Why is he still saying this from Exodus all the way up to Deuteronomy? You see how just he is. You see that grace and mercy. Can y'all see it? I know you don't see it. You see all that grace and mercy. He started whining and telling us, y'all wicked something. I'm following you all the way through. It's coming down your bloodline. Why? Because it's sitting right in the men's sperm. All their wicked and evil ways is right in them, in their babies, in their daughters and sons. And that's why you see things repeating itself and getting worse. Because now we are worse than our forefathers. So now we can't sit and back up. Oh, we here because our forefathers use a lie. You've been here because of your forefathers. Right now, you're here because of you. How you like them now? You're here because of you. The 400 years is up. Wait a minute. You're here because of you now. You on your time of judgment that the Father has placed down in the midst of you. In a time when you're supposed to be swooping the coop to the promised land, you over here in the land of your captives, being judged by the mighty right hand of the Father. Okay. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 24 and 16. Deuteronomy 24 and 16. Look like he backing it's all the way up. He gonna bag this thing up because he already bagged it down. He's about to bag this thing up. Okay. Deuteronomy 24 and verse 16. Deuteronomy 24 and verse 16, and it reads, the fathers shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Now listen to this. You see what that? Let me see. Is it 18? I should bump it up, bump it down. No, I'll leave it right there. 16. Yeah, let's go up. Let's go up to verse 5. 15. Deuteronomy 24 and verse 15, 16, and 17. Okay. At his day, thou shalt give him his hiring. Neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee until Yah, and it be sin unto him. Let's read it again. At his day, thou shalt give him his hiring. Giving him his hiring is giving what is due him. What is due him for what? For what? For what is due him. This is speaking of his sin. Like, since, let's say, for instance, Deborah, the day, at my day, thou shalt give him, me, they should give me, give him, it got to be him, his hiring. Give him his pay, his consequences for what he done. He worked, give him his pay, give him his hire. Neither shall the sun go down upon it. Give him what he's entitled to. Where's it at? For he is poor and setteth his heart upon it. Give him what is due him, lest he cry against thee until Yah. Unless he turn to Yah for what he has inherited or what he was given because of what he done. But if he turn, listen to what it says, verse 15, lest he cry against thee unto Yah, and it be sin unto thee. See, it's showing you where if Sister Deborah do something, let her reap the consequences. She gonna pay the penalty. That's what it's talking about. Unless she turn to who? To Yah. She turned, it says here in verse 15, unless he cry against thee unto Yah, and it be sin unto thee. Because he's turning to Yah. He's turning to Yah. But what happened? At his day, thou shalt give him his hiring. So give him what's due him. And what is due him? In a spiritual sense, the consequences of his sins, the consequences of his action. This is a parable showing you that if a man has children, the child is not going to be, how would I say it, destroyed by Yah because of his father's sin if he what? Go to Yah and cry out. You see the difference? That's what this verse is saying. It's setting that so you'll understand 16. And it said, in verse 15, at his day, thou shalt give him his hiring. When we stand before Yah, he's going to give us the judgment. The way we worked down here, we're going to get what we deserve, right? Neither shall the sun go down upon it, meaning you're going to get exactly what you deserve. Okay? Now watch this here. For he is poor and set his heart upon it. He still set his heart upon the works in which he did. So now it's time for him to get paid for what he did. Now watch this here. Lest he cry against thee. Let me go up against thee who caused him. No, he ain't nobody that he worked with to get what he earned. Watch this here. And cry up against it unto who? Yah. And then Yah, and it be the sin unto thee. See, he's getting out of it because the curse is being broken. So it won't go into the next generation. Now watch this here. And then it says in verse 16, the father shall not be put to death for the children. Neither shall the children be put to death for the father. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. When you see that, it's speaking also come judgment. You ain't going to be held accountable for the sin of your father. If your father going to hell, then he's going to hell. If the child is going to hell and the father is not going to hell, then the son is going to hell. But neither one is going to be put to death for one another's sin. Okay, watch this here. 17, thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor the fatherless, nor take the widow's remnant to plague. Now listen, this example is showing you how to break the generational curse. Yep, this is the type of work you did. You did the same work that your father did. So if your father did wicked and evil, you're going to do wicked and evil. But how do you break it? How do you break it? Or if it's your day and you ready for your hiring, meaning your judgment, then you're going to get what you work toward. But if you what? In verse 15, you cry out against it. Against it. The sins of your father, you cry out against it. In verse 15, upon Yah, unto Yah. So you're trying to break, bam, the generational curse so that you won't die in the same sin of the father. And the father won't die in the same sense as the father won't. I don't see where it says the father shall not be put to death for the children, nor the children shall be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. This is letting you know before it came to that, it showed you, unless he cried against the work in which he did, following behind the ways of his father, he cried against it toward who? Who is he going to cry to? Yah, breaking the generational curse, not having to take the penalty of the sins of the father. The fathers, nor taking the sins and not going to be, and what they're showing you in heavens is not going to stand there and it's not going to say, okay, Father, your son did. You're going to be put to death because he did. No, but he's going to ask that father, what happened to those talents? Did you feed them? Did you clothe them? Did you show them the way? You see? The way to where? To me. Did you do anything that I trust you to do because I put the seed in you? The children came from you, but did you do anything? Those questions are going to be put before the father. It's going to measure his judgment. And that's a sad thing. They don't even know that. That's why they need to be schooled. They all need to shut their tails down and put their faces to the ground and pray to the Most High Yah to deliver them. And don't they tails get up for an hour, 2 hours, a day, a week, a month, a year, years, until he bless you. They ain't gonna do that because they love it, their sins and their wickedness. And they bring it forth children, monsters, doing the same thing they did, having the same mindset and the same heart. They're repeating it all over again. And then they look up today. When last time you seen your son? When last time you seen your daughter? Well, I ain't seen them in 15 years. And don't give a rest behind. But expect Yah to do everything and bless them and give them and let them go on their way. That's not how he's going to do it. Come the judgment. Come the judgment. But he said, if a son do not the things like unto the father, then he's not going to be held liable for the sins of his father. That's breaking generational curse. That's how we were given it in this day and time. They call it generational curse. You see? But the truth be told, it is the iniquity that Yah is visiting in the children of the fathers. That's how you got over here. How you think you got over here and become worser? And still, these men are breeding more monsters and more monsters and praising them. Praising them. But then you want to blame the heathens and Gentiles for bringing drugs into your community. Where is your mind? You want to blame the Gentiles and the heathens for bringing all these automatic weapons. Y'all should see them, y'all. I had no idea that the Catholics had caused them to bring in stuff into the community. I had no idea they had that type of firepower. But today, the year 2023, these babies and these young men and these men. And when I say firepower, they got firepower that will come through the wall from outside and kill up a person. You see what I'm saying? That's this stuff. And they got weapons that won't stop shooting till 40 bullets is released, or maybe 100. So I'm just showing y'all this is sort of stuff that's in your community, among your black men, your young men and old. When he sent them two angels to bring Lot family out, what does it say? Young men and old. Why? Because the old men was training the young men how to be in this sexual lifestyle, along with them probably, most likely, without a doubt, being sexual abused by their fathers. So all the stories that I'm hearing is off the chain regarding how a lot of the children were sexual abused, even the sons, by their fathers, their grandfathers, their uncles, their brothers, their cousins. But yet, it's the woman. Woo, Father, yeah. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy. That was Deuteronomy 24:16. Yeah. Let's go to Job. Job is going to say something here. He got something to say. Job, in the book of Job, chapter 21. Job. I got 21 and 19. Okay. Let me do something right quick. The Spirit is saying something to me right now, and I'm going to check something out. Oh, shoot. 1 minute. Okay. All right. Job, chapter 21 and verse 19. And it reads, because he has oppressed and have forsaken the poor. No, this is not it. Job. I'm in the wrong verse. 21 and verse 19. You think you got it now, Deborah? I think so. Yah laid up his iniquity for his children. He reward him, and he shall know it. Yah laid up iniquity for his children. He reward him, and he shall know it. That's in the book of Job. The book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 19. Yah laid up his iniquity for his children. He reward him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. That's sad. That's sad. Let's go over it again. Verse 19, out of Job 21 and verse 19. Yah laid up his iniquity for his children. He reward him, and shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink the wrath of the Almighty. That's Yah regarding his children. See, he's not even easing up on the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. Look what he says about his children. Y'all laid up his iniquity for his children. He rewarded him, and he shall know it. He shall know it. That's why I say in this day and time, y'all should know the judgment of the Most High. Y'all! No, you run around here talking about we the children, we the people, we the Jews, but don't see the judgment of the Most High Yah on the whole house of Israel, especially the tribe of Judah. You don't see that though, do you? But what did he say? On verse 20, his eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink the wrath of the Almighty. Y'all ain't playing. So when a lot of y'all thinking y'all gonna be somewhere, y'all getting up out of here, you're gonna be right where you kept up mess, right here in this land of your oppressor. You're gonna remain. Why would he say come out of here, out of her, so that you won't receive what she's gonna receive? Why is he saying that? Because he knows that you ain't gonna come out. But at least he know his T will cross. At least he know his T is crossed. He warned you. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah. In the book of, no, we can't. We go to Isaiah. Isaiah 43. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 27. I was explaining to you all, I love Isaiah because Isaiah gives you the truth of the matter, y'all. And that's what I call spirit and truth of the whole matter. Isaiah lay it out. I mean, he lay it all out for you. But they don't want to hear that. Why? Because it's coming for a prophet. It's coming from a prophet. They don't want to hear that. So in Isaiah 40, chapter 43, verse 27. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 27. And it reads, thy first father have sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore, I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproach. Now listen to this. Listen to what he says. Thy first father, you don't see mother in there. Thy first father have sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Who are the teachers? Those are the fathers. They've been teaching. That's why he said the forefathers have sinned. And the curse come down on the children from the sin of the fathers. They had sinned. Now listen to it. The first father have sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Who are the teachers? Those are fathers. And they run around here teaching y'all on these devil platforms. And you all think y'all got somebody because they saying we are the Hebrew Israelite. We the tribe of Judah. We the house of Israel. We the children. We the true Jews. And you the true fool. And always been, because I'm coming way back from Exodus. It really started in Genesis. Now he's saying in verse 28, therefore I have profaned the princes and the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to the reproaches. How you like him now? And you're running your tails around here, bringing forth and have birthed all these monsters that you see today, because the generation of curse was never broken. It has come down, the children, and this is what you see that's being judged by the Most High Yah right hand. Okay, so here we are in Isaiah. Now let's go to Psalms 79. It's connecting to Isaiah. Let's go back to Isaiah 43, 27 and 28. Thy first father have sinned, and thy teachers, notice it got an S, teachers have transgressed against me. This is what you see on these devil platforms. These people on this devil platform ain't doing, saying nothing but words to you all, telling you we this, we leaders, we rulers, we king. And I'm gonna give y'all a treat of what the Father revealed to me before I got online regarding the men of today, about their outer appearance that they trying to uphold, but they trying to in a way that they can look a certain way, so they can be boast and make themselves look a different way. They're working on their outer man, and they degrading her inner man by getting her to look the way they want her to look. It gives them power that they are somebody, but yet they're working on their outer man. They're going to these gyms. They're going and wanting to. What's this all about? Trying to get your body together. What's all that about? What is all that about? You see the type of sin they playing with? That flesh sin. Y'all didn't know that, did you? But he was sharing that with me. I'm going to share that with y'all before I get off today. But it says in verse 28, we in Isaiah 43 in verse 28. Therefore, I have profaned the princes and the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, Israel to reapproaches. Okay. Now, it's something in Psalm 79, verse 3. I want to see that 79 because I read it and I thought it was pretty good. 79 and verse 3. Verse 3 and 4. Their blood have they shed like water around about Jerusalem, and there were none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorner, a disration to them that are round about us. How long, Yah, will thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn with fire? Verse 6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathens. See, they want now something to happen to the heathens because this is where you at. This is where the heathen have you. God remembered his people because he took them out of what he put them in. But now they hooping and hollering. But listen to this in verse 4, Psalm 79. We are become a reapproach to our neighbors, a scorn, a disration to them that are round about us. But what about here in Isaiah 43? Did not he say 43 and 28? Therefore I have profaned the princes and the sanctuaries and have given Jacob the curse and Israel the reapproaches. Now here it is in Psalm 79, and that's what it is actually saying. Psalm 79 and verse, where is it? And they have become the reapproach. 4. Psalm 79, verse 4. We are become a reapproach to our neighbors, a scorn and disration to to them that are about us, round about us. But we are what? Become a reapproach. But that's what Yah said. He was going to what? He said it in Isaiah 43. Therefore I have, that's what Yah said, profaned thee. And at the end it says, and Israel to reapproaches. So we thinking that he's saying all this. You would think our awakening would be that we will see all this that has taken place and say, y'all, we got to break this generational curse. Look what's going on with us. Look what's happening. We got to break this curse. We got to stop right now. We got to stop. Look what all we've been doing since the book exists, since the end of time. We see all this stuff we done. But here it is, clearly seen, and we still doing worse than we did from the beginning. You tell me, ain't that deep? That's what I'm saying. But y'all want to run around here and say you want to be leaders, rulers, and kings. And baby, let me tell you something. Get somewhere and sit down. Get somewhere and sit down. Okay, now let's go to Isaiah 14 and 21. Let's see what Isaiah 14 and 21 is saying. Isaiah 14 and 20. What does that say? 21. 14 and 21. I got a lot of calls come in. It must be emergency. Isaiah 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possesses the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Now, this is here is actually Babylon to be cut off. This is here is also connecting the children for the iniquities of the father. What I believe is the tribe of Judah reject the curse of Deuteronomy 28 end game, and they reject the sin of who they are, what they've done. If a man would sit down and dissect his life, he'll realize those same way that he is in the monster seeds that he has brought forth with his wife or with women. Those are what you see today that's cutting up from the floor. Why? Because they've been hiding. They're hiding. They're and hiding is a form of when they're continuing the same thing and they don't have no just reason. They don't have nothing to tell them. This is why you repeating this, son. It's because I did it. And then his father said, I'm repeating what my daddy did. Nobody won't come to the table and own that thing. That's how you break generational curse. They ain't gonna do it. What you mean, Deborah? Why would you burn that bread? Why would you say that? Because they've been doing it since the beginning. Now break that curse. How you like me now? Break that curse. Why do you think the judgment is so heavy? There got to be a consequences on the earth before there's a consequences in the heavens. That which is on the earth shall be paid the price, the penalty. Even if it has to come where? What'd you say, Father? Through the children of the fathers. Oh, it's going to be paid on the earth. So when you see all this killing and you see how these men are cutting up from the floor on this earth, robbing and stealing, the heathens, the Catholic Romans then put weapons in their community and they dispersing them to one another like this is a game of Monopoly. Going into people's houses like it's like a toy, shooting them and killing and stealing cars and shooting people. You want the car, you got the car. What? Why are you killing people? And then these men walk around here trying to buff up and be, I'm king, I'm leader, I'm ruler, I'm the lion. You's a fool and you're going to be a fool. You need to be schooled about the judgment of Yah that's on you. Okay, let's go to, what verse was that? Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess this land, nor fill the face of the world with the cities. Verse 22, for I will rise up against them, said Ahiah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remember the sons and the nephews, said Ahiah. The same crap that he's going to do with this country. You notice he's not just going to do it to all the heathens and Gentiles are here. He's going to do it to them and their children and their children. See, we don't understand. That's how y'all rumble. Even they too is going to be judged by the wicked of their forefathers. Why is it? Now, does this make any sense? Why is it the tribe of Judah, especially our men, can stand on corners representing y'all like that, and men don't say nothing to them? But you say you represent Yah, but you see them representing Yah. That is not Yah, but you don't say nothing to them. Why is it you don't go to Chicago and New Jersey and New York and tell these brothers, wait a minute now, we coming in one. We're going to stop this. Because what you stopping is wicked and evil. And you don't want that stopped. You don't have no problem with it. But you want to go over there in the Kool-Aid where the gays and homosexuals and tell them, don't give them the law to marry and to mess with. What do you mean? Don't give it to them. What do they have to do with you? And what does that have to do with you? This is Satan's time in which Yah has given unto him. And it's been going on since the beginning of time. Where you been? Be about righteousness, if it's any can be found in you. Or can it? No, because you don't know what the righteous come from. You don't know what it is. Okay, now, what else do we have here? Let's go to, I have to do something that's very, 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 very important. And I'm trying, it's just the emergency came up again. And I need to swing this, take care of this, and I would ask you to forgive me. And if you would hold up. Okay. Just 1 minute, you guys. I just have to take care of this. This call is constantly, wow. This call is constantly coming in. And it really broke my concentration, but I have to take care of something, and it's not in this state. It's not even in this state. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's go on. Let's go to Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31. The book of Jeremiah. And it's just so much to hear those prophets talk about stuff, Sister Deborah. Every time I go in there, I'll be saying, well, that's what I've been saying today. That's why I know these are truly my brothers. I know for a fact. Because they talking the same thing, and then just a different way. They talked it back then, and Sister Deborah is speaking it now. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 20. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 29. Okay. And it reads, in those days they shall say no more, the father has eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Okay. No more. This is a time period in which This is a time period in which this is going to be cut off. Okay, we are not going to say these things. Let's go up a verse and come down a verse. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 28. And it shall come to pass that, like as I have watched over them, to pluck up and to break down, to throw down and to destroy, and to afflict, so will I watch over them, to build and to plant, said Ahiah. So Ahiah is going to remove this. You see that? And this came on down to Jeremiah. He's telling you Ahiah is going to move that standards that it's been set. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers, sin on the children. It's showing you where he's going to tell you in Jeremiah how it's going to be done away with. Now listen to what he said. And he said in verse 28, he said to build and to plant, said Yah. Verse 29, in those days shall say no more, the father have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Verse 30, but everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. Now he's talking about when we get over there to the promised land, when we get over to where Yahweh is going to take us, no one is going to be sin is not going to pour out into the children from the Father. Everybody's going to be holding their own on the earth. Your sin that you do, you're going to be just accountable yourself. Okay, this is showing me as a prophetess that I do got this intact. This gonna end, though, Deborah. This gonna end. But I love what he said and how he said it in verse 28. And it shall come to pass that, like as I have watched over them, to pluck them up, to break down, to break down, to throw down, to destroy, and to afflict them, and to afflict, so will I watch over them, to build and to plant, said Yah. He's showing us that it's going to come a time that the sins of the father is not going to be weighed heavy on the children. So that's where he come in and he says, in those days shall say no more. So it's showing you we still in them days. See, it's showing you we're still stuck in them days where we're completing and we're repeating the sins of our forefathers. But we're worse. So that means what? Our children sins or have worsened. So this is what you see in the world today. It is even worse than the forefathers. So when you get to Jeremiah 31 and 29, in those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten sour grape, and the children's teeth are on edge. You know what he's saying? It's not going to be that anymore once he get us where he is going to take us. But I like what he's saying, because he's saying the same thing Sister Deborah is saying. And I like how he moved it from Torah all the way down, and he said it a little bit different. He said, the father eat sour grapes. That means they sin. They do wrong. They do wicked. And the children's teeth are set on edge. The father eats the grapes, but the children suffer. Their teeth suffer from the father eating the sour grapes. Woo-wee! So this is where men won't preach and precept and line and show you. They don't show you in this area. They so busy over there using their perpetual hate at its highest, because this is the end for them, just as it is for Satan. Satan knows his time already up, and he cutting up from the floor, but it's a cut up from the floor that Yah has allowed him. These people who wants to say that they are the children, they are the people, we are the chosen, we are the Jews, we are the Hebrew Israelite, we are Israel, we are Judah. Let me tell y'all something. Only thing you look to me as a prophet is in the wilderness. When I'm looking at you from the wilderness, want me to tell you what I see? I see Satan's friends that he gained during the time of the 400 years and some. He gained much. out of the 400 years. But he didn't gain what he worked hard to get. He gained what Yah gave him. So when y'all go back to this study and you see Jeremiah 31 and verse 29, it's saying the same thing. The sins of the father weighs on the children. That's why you got men right today that can walk away out of their families today, kill a wife, kill his baby's mama, shoot his baby, the mama that's pregnant, kill his children, and women killing their children now too, just in great numbers. This is why. Because the fathers have gotten away with so much. And I'm going to say it like that. How did they get away with it? Anybody in the live chat know why the fathers got away with it for so long? How did they get away with it? Give me the reason. And how did the father get away with it? See, the father ate, now listen to this. The father ate the sour grapes. Why didn't his teeth go on edge? But it says, but the children's teeth are set on edge. The children paid the penalty from the father eating the sour grapes, meaning the sin of the father, the children paid the penalty. Okay? And the question that I asked, how did the father get away with it for so long? Anybody in the live chat? It's 2 words. How did the father get away with it so long to the point where, okay, father, you see the father's doing wrong? How did they get away with it to the point where the children become fathers themselves? They get away with it and they do wrong and they go into their children. It's just constantly going in and the children is paying a penalty. Anybody know? Yes, it's in the spiritual realm, but it's a 1 or 2 words. How did they? Nope. How did they get away? Anybody? Nope. Okay, simple. They got away with it through grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. I've read to y'all twice, and I believe it's in Exodus and in Numbers, where he said, I forgive the iniquity, the transgressions, and the sins through grace and through mercy. That's how they got away with it, you guys. And that's how the men are getting away with it today. And y'all can't even see that. Y'all cannot see the fathers getting away with everything, blaming the woman. Still like Adam did. Still blaming her. Still getting away with it. And he the one took his crown. His crown represent him being the first created. Him having the authority. When what did y'all do? He didn't create woman to dress the garden. He put man there by himself to dress the garden. And then what he do? He didn't create woman to name all the animals. He created all the animals and put them right before Adam to name them. That's the crown that Adam had in the garden that he took off, no longer wanting it. That's what the men are doing. That's why it's easy for them, because it was easy for Adam. That's why it's easy for them to walk out of their household and don't take care of their children. Don't feed them. Don't give them roof. Don't spend time with them. Don't train them up in the way that they should go. Now they telling you, looking back at you now. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to make it now. You need a man in the house. You need a man in the house. Shows you. That shows you when they always looking back, even getting on this devil platform, talking about a man in the house. That's what women get, because they ain't got a man in the house. They want to run in it. You know why they knew that? Because they knew they took off their crown. And it didn't have nothing to do with you, woman. That's just they make up. It was Adam's in the Garden of Eden. Notice that. Now he was head. He was put in there to dress the garden. before Eve was even created. Then he brought all the animals to him to name before Eve was even created. Now, how all of a sudden, when it's time to entertain something in his garden, oh, now the woman's entertaining him. No, babe, you had already entertained him. You already came before. You was the one put in there dressed to dress the garden. See, it's some sneak peek in there. And the Roman popes, I wouldn't even put it. The Roman Catholic could have put that in there. But it's grace and mercy. That's how they getting away with it. What else? Come on now, y'all. Y'all should know this. Grace and mercy is what they're using today. They getting away with it, not taking care of their families, not housing their children, not feeding them, not clothing them, not giving them the way of Yah, and walking around getting these women pregnant. And they not only do they have men have mental issues, the women have mental issues, and they get together to lay down in lust and have babies, bring these babies forth. They got all these mental issues. You see? And the kids got to come here. Their teeth on edge because of what the father has developed. These men got a lot of mental illness, and these women, they would have to be silly women. Women not of Yah, but ladder of sin, because to be laid down with these men, having children by them, breeding these monsters. You can look at Pastor Dowd. Not one woman want to lay down with him and have a child by him. Not nobody got that powerful sick mind that he has. But no, you want to breed it. All you're going to do is breed monsters. And I'm quite sure any children he has, they are monsters no matter where they at. And they're going to be monsters. Because you are your father's seed. And women running around here don't even understand you ain't got no seed. He never had you to have no seed. Seed is the only thing that can produce. You the incubator. He's liable for training up a child in the way that they should go. But they never been in the house to train up nan one of them. Because they never was trained by their father. So they feel that I don't have to give my kids nothing. My daddy didn't give me nothing. His daddy didn't give him nothing. We don't give a rat's behind. But then y'all get up in these households and rape these children. Rape these babies. And walk out of them saying somebody bothering us. The women doing this and the women doing that. Do y'all not know that the father seen all that? That was being done in Genesis 6, he said. That's what the father told me. He said, when you sit down under me, I'm going to tell you the truth of the whole matter. See, they want to, the men hid that. The father said they have hid the days of Noah so the people wouldn't know what it was. That's why he said he wanted us to know. If it was so, it will fool the very elect. But it ain't going to fool them because I'm a school teacher. Okay? Now, let's go to Zacharias. Zacharias chapter 1. And it's grace and mercy, you guys. It's that grace and mercy is why they still doing what they're doing. Because in spite of what they're doing, don't you see grace and mercy? Just like the heathens. No matter what the heathens do to us, don't you see that grace and mercy still letting them back for what they're doing? That's called grace and mercy, y'all. See that? You see who Yah is? You got to get a clear picture of who your creator is. Who this most high really is. Not what man said he is, not what woman said that he is, but who he is. He said, I am who I say that I am. We don't want to get to know that one because that one got a right hand. Okay, so Zacharias chapter 1, verse 2. In Zacharias chapter 1, verse 2, and it's going all the way down, y'all, started from Torah, from the beginning, all the way down, letting you know, yes, Deborah, tell them. The sin, the monsters that you see in the world today is the product of the monster of who they are, their fathers. The women can come up and have a child, but if her child comes up with the ways that appear to be her ways, it's got to be coming from her father. It can't come from woman. It come through woman, but it's not from woman. All right, Zacharias chapter 1, verse 2. Zacharias chapter 1, verse 2. And Yah has been so displeased with your fathers. That's in Zechariah chapter 1. You see that? And y'all sitting around here wanting somebody to not talk about these men. Why are you hiding them? They already being, you guys, they are already being hidden. They already have a shield to hide behind. And what is that? Grace and mercy. It's like saying, yeah, I didn't take care of my kids. I got 6 over here. I got 10 in Georgia, 5 in here. Or I got a wife, a woman with a child over here, and a woman over here. And if I go over in Africa, I got a woman. Laying seeds everywhere. In any and everybody. And leaving them. And leaving them. And don't understand. After you done laid them all over the place. Tomorrow is not promised to Deborah nor you. But when you stand before glory, hallelujah. He said the guilty is not cleared. Hallelujah. He said, yeah, I know. My grace. The Father said, yeah, tell him, Deborah, I know my grace and mercy didn't let you back. But I got a place for you for eternal. See, that's how sick they are. They don't even know that this creator that we say we know, but we really don't. He got a plan. See, they thinking, oh, I can do this, and don't even know every man is born to die. You got to die, bro. But this flesh is not it. But what you did in it is going to pay the penalty for your eternal spirit in the lake of fire or in the kingdom of heaven. And if you're not going to ride up in there with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You ain't going to ride up in there as the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. You ain't going to ride up in there like that. Oh, you think you are. Because somewhere, somebody has deceived you so at a high level. You stuck on stupid. Okay. So here in Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 2, for Yah has been so displeased with your fathers. He's speaking to you all right today. He's speaking to men and women today. Yah has been displeased with you and your father, with your fathers. And you ain't displeased with your father because you don't see nothing wrong he doing. Why? Because that grace and mercy been covering them up. He said, grace and mercy is covering them up. But guess what? While the grace and mercy is covering them up, guess what's happening? While grace and mercy is covering them up, guess what's happening? While grace and mercy is covering them up, guess what's happening? Y'all, today. Who knows? Who in the live chat knows what exactly is happening today? All because grace and mercy is covering them. Now, y'all say that I have forgiven. In a sense, I've overlooked their sin, their iniquity, their transgression. How did he overlook? Through grace and mercy. But he said, but it ain't clear the guilt. That's going to the throne. So a lot of them feeling, oh, as long as I can. Remember he said the evil get away with it. You know how you look like the evil's getting away with it? That's why they're getting away with it, because of that grace and mercy. And I taught that, I think about a year ago. I've been trying to tell y'all that grace and mercy is deep. That grace and mercy is deep. That's why y'all living. Y'all ain't getting away with nothing. Y'all can sit here and try to be a hypocrite. You can sit and fake it until you think you make it or whatever you want. But that's that grace and mercy hiding you. That's that grace and mercy hiding you. It's hiding everybody. That's why people are doing the things that they're doing, because they feel like they're getting away with it. That grace and mercy covering them up, keeping people from seeing them for who they are. Outside of those that Yah has given the blessing to be able to see who you are, and not only see who you are, but tell the people who you really are. Okay. Now, 2 Kings. I forgot. I missed 2 Kings. I like this here because I like to go into Torah and show you that all this here yang about Torah, follow Torah, get y'all tails somewhere and sit down. Sit y'all tails down. The product of what you see today is because of what was yesterday. All of it. So when y'all finish lying to these people, y'all need to get your tail somewhere and sit down. If you ain't teaching people spirit and truth, you need to get your tail somewhere and sit down, and they need to get their tail somewhere and sit down. And you need to stop lying. Stop being a deceiver to these people. So what? Y'all allow people to come to you. He gave you those to deceive. Don't you know he gave Satan all that he need to take with him when he go to the lake of fire? Did y'all know that? Y'all gave Satan all the ones he need to take with him to the lake of fire. That's why I tell y'all don't know who you messing with. When he said the fear of y'all, y'all just think y'all know him because y'all fear y'all think y'all know him. You don't know him. He's not one to be played with. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 14, verse 6. 2 Kings chapter 14 and verse 6. I'm going to go up to verse 5 and pour down to verse 6. And it came to pass as the king was confirmed in his hand, that he shew his servants, which had slain the king, his father. But the children of the murderers he slew not, according unto which is written in the book of the law of Moses, wherein the Lord commanded, saying, the father shall not be put to death for the children, nor the children be put to death, for the man should be put to death for his own sin. Now I get that a little bit better. This was something that's dealing with Moses now. He was telling them to not, if the father do something, don't do away with his children too. Because it was a time where somebody did something. Anytime in the Bible, when somebody did something, the Most High said, go destroy them all. And at that time, it was the children, the women, the wives, everybody. When Ahiah had Israel and Judah destroyed, he tell them to go in there. He have their own. Go in there, destroy them. Women, children, and their spouse. He'll tell them to go in there and take them all out. Here he said, Moses has a law that was said to him that saying, Moses, you can't go killing the men that sin. You can't go killing them. You can't, when you kill them, you can't go killing their children because of the sin of the father. Don't go killing their children. Only those orders come from the heavens, from Yah. Because I've seen Yah, and I seen him. Yeah, I did see him through the word that he's spoken to me, where he sent Moses down. That's why Moses threw those tablets down. He was up on the mountain trying to chastise Yah. And Yah said, no, I'm finna destroy them. And you need to repent for your anger, your wrath. He's talking to Yah. He gets down there, and first thing he do before he hit the solid ground, he threw the tablets down because of what he was hearing. And what are you doing that for? And he go there and he got on Aaron, and then he told them, y'all pull up y'all swords. Levites, y'all come on, pull up. Let's pull up. We killing all of them. And they killed more than 3,000 because they also killed the spouse and everything. Oh yes, that was who? Hebrew against Hebrew. The house of Israel against the house of Israel. You see that? Don't tell me who my father ain't and what he can and cannot do. When you learn really who he is, you'll know not to mess with him. You'll have more fear of him and respect and honor. You'll hold him up at the high most. We always talk about the Almighty and the Most High. Why don't you respect him like he's the Most High? Why don't you respect him like he's Almighty? No, you don't want to do that. That's too much like right. And you're about wrong. Now, this is where he was saying in 2 Kings chapter 14 and verse 5 and 6, just telling them that they can, Moses set the law up that the Lord had commanded, saying that, see, Moses, it wasn't Moses' law, but Moses was the one set him up, that the father told him no more killing the fathers, the children for the father's sin. Okay, and the father for the children's sin. Everybody's sin has to be dealt with separately. Okay, but Yah's, as far as him, his chastising, his discipline, he said, Deborah, they spin them out. They are monsters, and they spin monsters out, and they walking away from all of them. So this is why you see Sister Deborah always on the top of the head of men. I'm stepping tall and firm on their head because they need to be. They need to reteach all this stuff over again, and they're not going to. I already know that because they denied the curse. So they ain't going nowhere. So let's go to the book of Luke. Now we're going into what they call the new. The book of Luke. Luke chapter 6 and verse 23. Luke chapter 6 and verse 23. Luke chapter 6 and verse 23. And let us read. The book of Luke chapter 6, verse 23. And we're going to go on to 26. 23. And now we end up in the area where Yeshua is speaking. Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in that the like manners did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Verse 25. Woe unto you that are poor, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall moan and weep. How you like them now? 26. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. Woe unto you to salute what is unrighteous. Listen to verse 6. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you. That's what they do. They speak well of each other. That's what all of them do. That's why many can't get together and go up against what these camps and what these pastors and what these teachers and what these ones on YouTube is saying, and say, no, y'all, we this is not right. This is not of y'all. This is not pleasing. One won't go up against one another. Everybody sit and let everybody be a bad example to who? The Father. He said, Deborah, they don't do it to you. When they don't give to you, it ain't because it's you. It ain't, don't take that personal, baby. That's how they feel toward me. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. But once he has molded you and mold me to understand it in the 40s, it's more easier for me to embrace. I get it now, Father. I get it. That's how you also identify who people are. You really do. And here in 26, it said, woe unto you when all men. Now, wait a minute. Hold up. Back that thing up. Yeshua, what do you mean all men shall speak well of you? He's talking about men speaking well of other men. And that's what they do. For so did the father to the false prophets. He's telling you back in the days, that's how the fathers did. They spoke well of the wicked prophets. Hated the righteous prophets, but spoke well of the rich prophets. These are the fathers. Ain't no good in them, y'all. You can say what you want. This is the time where they need to be schooled so they can see and feel that judgment. Because the punishment on the earth is separate from the punishment come judgment before the throne. So a lot of y'all thinking, oh, I ain't this, I ain't like this, I ain't done nothing, I'm doing right, I'm righteous, I'm saved, I'm full of the Holy Spirit, I'm sanctified, I don't do this. They do it, they do it, they do it. And y'all sitting here saying, If you think for 1 minute you don't see what's going on, what you do on the earth, the consequences is being paid right here on the earth. And what you're going to do in heaven is a total judgment. It's going to judge you from what and who he knew you were while you were faking it till you make it on earth. He done judged you already. That's why Sister Deborah says she can't come down here and clown with y'all. She can't come down here and say what these people want her to say. Do what they want her to do. Dress the way they want her to dress. Act the way they want her to act. Eat what they say eat. Talk the way they say talk. Precept they way. Line they way. Little here they way. Know this word third way. No. I'm from the heavens, not from the earth. So it's no way I'm going to come down here and rumble the way your flesh has deceived many to wrong. Why? Because I know that grace's mercy is what got you continuing in your wicked and sin. Do y'all know that? Why do people continue doing what they're doing? It's because grace and mercy. They're hiding behind grace and mercy. So when you take that grace and mercy, he said, no more grace. What he said, come judgment, no more mercy and grace. No more mercy and grace when you stand before judgment. Why? Because now it's home, Deborah. See, I gave you that when you was down there. Grace and mercy was why you was down there cutting up from the floor like people don't know who you are. I know who you are. You weren't even worried about it. I know who you are because I had you covered with grace and mercy, and you still didn't respect me. I had all that grace and mercy letting you live to change and do this and to do that and to be right and be about your Father's business and tell people about spirit and truth. Speak righteousness, speak justice. You didn't want to go that way. You hid behind all that grace and mercy that I poured out on you. And that's all of us. A lot of us are clowning all up under that grace and mercy. You take that grace and mercy, it'll show y'all who everybody is. Oh, it'll show you who everybody is. And if you take that grace and mercy, everybody gonna be killing one another. And that's what you see today. Yah's mighty right hand is up off, and his judgment is down on. And nobody still see that mighty right hand being judged upon a people. And he even told them. So that's why you see all this stuff is going on. Because when I see them bringing guns into the community, and now the guns that they have in the community can outweigh the guns they had yesterday. So how did they get them? The drugs that they bringing into the community today can outweigh the drugs that they had yesterday. How are they getting them? They know where y'all at. They know how stupid our men who pretend that he's a leader, he's a ruler, he's this and he's that. Adam took off the crown, and they still taking off the crown today. Because they too stupid. They don't have sense enough to wear the crown proudly. Because y'all created you to wear the crown. You can't even wear it the way he created you to wear it. You up and down here dropping seeds, calling women bitches and hoes, and killing their women's and their daughters and their children like y'all gave them the gift, as if you go kill up how many you want. You good. That's that grace and mercy on y'all tails, and you're too stupid to see it. That's what's holding you all. That's what's covering everybody up. Is that grace and mercy. That's what's holding and everybody hiding under from is that grace and mercy. That grace and mercy is hiding you all. And you're going to get it. Because once that grace and mercy is done, that's it. And guess what? It's not just on you. It's on the heathens, the Gentiles, everybody. Because once that grace and mercy is up, that's it. That's why he said, come judgment, ain't going to be no more grace and mercy. That means you're going to come up there and you're going to be in some trouble thinking that you're going to stand before the mighty Yah with all this crap. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah. This is the last verse. In Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 18. In Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 18, and we're going to pull out, okay? We're going to take a couple of questions if anybody have any questions. Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 18. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands. Oh, there he go again. And recompensed the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. I know a lot of y'all don't see that. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 18. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands. This is Yah. Didn't I tell you that's that grace and mercy? Recompensed the iniquity of your father. Your fathers. Where do he recompense the iniquity of the fathers? Into. You see that word? Into? Look at it. Into the bosom of their children. So this is why you see these monsters. This is why you see what's out here. You see all these killings and these the way these you see when you see a 12-year-old, guess what you see in his daddy? You see in this 12-year-old daddies, and mama's daddies. That's what you see. You see in these men. And just imagine, and I'm gonna read this one more time, and I'm gonna close up because it's bringing sadness to my spirit. Because what y'all just did at the end of this, he made me see how deep I was rooted in what I've been saying about men. They didn't got away with it since the book of Genesis. And that's what he meant. If they didn't pull up and that I made man before I made woman, so that man to understand that you was the first, you was the head, you was the leader. I did a lot of things in Genesis 1 and 2. And here today, they still never saw it coming. They don't know. It's not meant for stupid people to know. Now listen to this. Genesis chapter 32 and verse, 18. Thou showeth loving kindness. That's Yah unto thousands, and recompense the iniquity of the fathers. Where he's pulling it up. Where are you pulling it up to, Father? The bosom of the children. After them, their children after them. The great and mighty Yah, the Yahuwah of hosts is his name. Meaning, if you want to pull up on the one that said it, that's who you see. You got any question, pull up on him. You got any questions, pull up on him. And that, that's it. Because, that is, to me, is that just blew me off. I realized that just that instant, how potent everything I'm sitting here seeing. All this chaos amongst the people. And I'm so glad he knows that everybody is not his children. Because that's what I'm feeling. Not today, but I have felt that for quite a long time. Everybody that's saying, Lord, Lord, is not nowhere near the bloodline, the spiritual bloodline of my father. I knew that the tribe of Judah in the house of Israel was something short here. I knew that all the time. Because when I run up on 144, I said, Father, that's like 1%. He said, you know that, but they don't. You know that, but they don't. Anyone have any questions before we end this lesson? Grace and mercy. That's it. Grace and mercy. And it's hiding everything, y'all. It's hiding everything. And would move out the way. Move, Father. Don't cover me up with grace and mercy. Cleanse me. Shape me. Clean me up. Don't let your mercy and grace hide my sins, my wickedness. And then you say, not clearing the guilty. Meaning, wait a minute, because I'm going to meet it when it comes to the throne for judgment. Oh, no, clear me up now, Father Yah. Clear me up now. Don't wait. So I said, and anybody have any questions? Yes, perfect. You see that, y'all? Appearance of godliness and denying the power. Thank you so much. That's good. That's real good. That's good, because that is exactly sister's word. Denying the power. That's it. That's it. That's it. I knew when saying that. That's it. That's it. Good closure. Good closure. Because that's it. And everybody who have been on my live chat, what has it always been? Look at what he's just said. Appearance of a godliness and what? What have we always talked about? Denying the power. Praise the mighty God. Good closure. Good closure. That's a good closure. It's a good closure because when it all said and done, that is the identity of who he is that we still miss, is that power. So I, Sister Deborah, want to say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I say unto you, seek Yah. It ain't that he lost. He just then took his hand off. You see? A lot of things, and this is why you see everything going on. He just letting grace and mercy continue to spread out, but his hands is away. He's taking his hands. And when he takes his hand, he takes that right hand, which is his power. And that's where Sister Deborah get like it. You know? But one thing about it, when you know him, you can pull him on up. You can call on that power. Why? Because he said, Once you have received that Ruach HaKodesh, now you receive that power. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, shalom and shalom.